Joanne from Magpies Cottage.
I'm Amy.
Nice to have you back, or welcome the first time,
whichever it may be.
Yeah.
We hear that there's new people joining us all the time.
Yep. Always see that. New subscribers. Oh, darn it.
What?
Speaking of subscribers, I forgot to draw again. So again, once again, look for your name right here on the screen. If you won the drawing from last week for the $10 gift card. And if you want to enter the drawing to be drawn next week, subscribe, thumbs up, or down, it doesn't matter, just so you engage, and comment. And I'll be picking from the comments then.
Okay.
So, so that's what I ended up doing the last 2 times. Is putting my name on the screen. Yeah, and then once you see your name on the screen, email me, and then I will return that email with your gift certificate.
Oh, that's good.
That can be used online or in store.
Ah.
Yep. It's been tested. Works fine.
Like that when that happens.
Yep. So, what's happening in your world?
Oh, gosh. I retired this week.
Okay. You didn't actually retire. You just gave your notice for when you retired.
Yeah, well, I mean, teachers don't retire in the middle of the school year unless something weird happens. But yeah, so no, I am retiring at the end of this school year. So yeah, I already counted the days. I know exactly how many days of school left. I made myself a little calendar and everything. I was procrastinating yesterday because I had to actually do some schoolwork. Get ready for teaching on Tuesday. And I was procrastinating because I really didn't feel like working on that, but I needed to get it done. So I was in the office and putzing around, and then so I made myself a calendar.
All right, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I
guess. You got big plans for your retirement? No? Okay.
I mean, yeah, I have all my fiber interests.
Okay.
You know, like my loom will be used.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay.
And I mean, because I have a floor loom and I have a rigid heddle, and neither one of them are warped up. So it's something that I want to do. And I do plan to make quilts. I want to make a quilt. I've had this dream of having a quilt that I made on my bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's a king-size bed, so I have to learn how to make small quilts first.
Yeah. And then you can do those quilt as you go, like I've shown them here.
Yeah.
That'll work on a king size. Or you send it to a long armor and pay $200 to have it quilted. Yeah.
Well, maybe I should buy a long arm and figure out how to do that. So
those are $20,000 to $40,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they might even be more now, but yeah.
No kidding.
Yep.
Well, then it's worth paying them $200 to do it.
Yeah.
And a person could do, I don't know, I mean, everything's computerized now, so a person could set that up. It would run. I wonder how long it would take to do something like a quilt bed size.
It can be done in an afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. So the putziest part is getting it all on the machine, flat, even, stretched out, because you have to have 3 layers you're stretching out evenly, getting that all set up and straight and square. That's the longest. The actual quilting, like you said, most of the times they set a computer and then it goes. So, but getting it set up, it can be done in an afternoon. There's usually a limit. You have to talk to your long armor. A lot of them have 104 inches as their limit. I know my friend got 120 inches done, but she had talked to her ahead of time because she wanted king size and down to the floor.
Oh, heavens, no, not that big.
Yeah, so hers was very big.
Well.
And it was all hand-dyed fabric she dyed herself.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing. No, I want to do one. Yeah, I'll do the one like you did for Becky. One like that for my bed when I need one that big.
Yeah.
And then I can, I can learn to do free motion like you do. I mean, I could do that. There's no reason why.
Right. It's on a regular machine like that, it might be a little hard to get a king size in there.
That one, I don't think I would do one that big.
Okay. I've done queen size. I did the queen size, the one I had on my bed before this one, on my Janome 6600, and that had a little smaller throat space. I think this new one is 11, and I think the 6600 is 9. So I did a queen size with only a 9-inch opening, and that's with, I drew stencils and did all the fancy feather wreaths and everything.
No.
Yeah.
I like your loop-de-looped that you do.
Yeah, that's always my go-to quick one. That's what's on that quilt up there.
Oh, it looks
Should I
very
show
nice.
show the people what I talked about?
Yeah.
Can I, where do
Nope.
we?
Keep turning. There you go. Now,
See it?
that quilt.
That's the one I did a loop-de-loop on. Now I gotta get us back in frame.
Yeah. Sorry about all the juggling.
Keep things interesting.
But, yeah. So I want to do that. That's
Okay.
you know, and I'll probably play a little more golf in summer and when it's nice, and
Yeah.
I might go invade my child in California for a couple of weeks, leave his father home because he's gonna work still.
So I have the shop, so I'm busy. And then I used to volunteer. That might be something you want to think about. I volunteered at the Arts Center. That was a lot of fun. And then I'd be a usher at all the shows. So then you see all the shows for free. And then I was even a volunteer bartender when they had those, what were they called? Festive Fridays or Freaky? Yeah. When they had those, I was a bartender. So
Okay.
that was fun.
Well, yeah, I do have some things I might want to volunteer to do.
Yeah, that's always
But
fun.
yeah, so I'm not gonna film a calendar. Not
Yeah.
at least at first.
Right.
You know, and I've got things coming up in fall that I'm just gonna enjoy the fact that I can go and do as I please in fall. Because like I've got a knitting retreat that was postponed from last year that I am definitely going to, and that's in September. And then of course the Ryder Cup, and I'm volunteering for that, so I will be able to just go watch golf like I love to do out at Whistling Straits for the Ryder Cup. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, and maybe I'll teach more knitting and, you know, those kinds of things. I don't know.
Okay. Sounds fun.
Yeah, you know, and Ron says if I need money, I can always sub. He's got it in his head that I have to go sub.
Oh, okay.
I ain't subbing. You know, I mean, unless I want money for something, you know, like a vacation or something like that, then I'll sub.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's not. I'm not going to do it because I miss my job all that much, and you know, gotta get back into it. No.
Yeah.
No. I need to take a break, and these last 2 years have been very, very hard. And you know, and I think that the last 2 years is probably. I mean, I might have worked another year if things were different, but not now. I'm done.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So.
Oh, while we're here, if anybody dropped this, come in and claim it.
It's a little what?
It's a little doll. Looks like it's off of somebody's keychain.
Yeah.
So
Cute.
yeah, I found it on the floor. So if you dropped it, come in and claim it. My granddaughter already put dibs on it if nobody claims it.
Wow.
Yeah, she should be here later. I don't know. Because I didn't pick her up because we're here early.
Oh.
So I don't know if she's going to get a ride or not. But
I see.
hopefully she shows up.
So,
behind us, you'll see that's the large size of the poncho or capelet or whatever you want to call it, that I designed. That's the last one of my testers just finished. and I have to block that one and measure it, so probably Wednesday I'll have that. So by the end of next week, I should be ready to release that, I hope.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That design turned out so nice.
Right, yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed. That's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give myself goals. We were talking about that this week. I said I always give myself self-imposed deadlines.
I do too.
Because otherwise I don't get stuff done. So, like even when I had to take my taxes in, the accountant said, whenever. I said, nope, not whatever. I said, I will be there. I will have everything done by March 4th, I think I gave myself till, which is later than usual, because usually I want to be everything to the accountant by February 15th. So I was a little lax this year. But yeah, I always give myself deadlines like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, what have you been knitting on?
Well, this was a stealth project. Fuzzies. It's a little one skein wonder shawl.
Okay.
It starts out here. There's your tip. And then it's made with a sock set. You know how you get the skein of worsted, or it's a full skein of worsted. It's fingering. I get a full skein of fingering and then get a sock mini with it. So it's a sock set. And so what it does, it makes these little short row things with the sock set, the mini all along. And now I just did this one. This is the last one. And then the next time after my 30 some odd rows, it'll end in the mini. So now I've got to do, here, let's see the whole thing. There. All right, so now I've got to do this section here between there, which is, just a knit. It's just plain garter. And, you do your increases on this edge. So, yeah, and it'll just be a really long, narrow, kind of a crescent, not really.
Okay.
But, the putting, you figure you've got about 400 and some odd yards in your skein of fingering weight yarn. And then you add in another 80 or so, depending upon what you've got. You end up with a little bit bigger than a one skein wonder skinny little shawl.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, colors are fun.
Yeah.
Just found something in my stash that looked like it would work. Yeah, well, obviously, and this is called the Ellie Sock Set Shawl. Ellie, Ellie, Sock Set Shawl by Yellow Ribbon Knits is what she goes by on Ravelry.
Okay.
But it's Heather Boos, Boos.
Okay.
And she's got a knit along going on for April.
Oh, okay.
For any of her sock set patterns. I did another one earlier. Remember that black one with the lime green and the gray stripes? It was like that wavy thing.
Okay.
I wore it a couple weeks ago. I finished it. That was also part of her sock set. It was a cowl, the Susanna cowl. So she's got this bundle of all these different sock patterns. And she's doing a knit along. There's another one, another cowl I want to knit that has like the waves in it again. So she's real into using a mini skein with a skein of fingering and doing something with short rows, and that's what these are. These are just wrap and turns. And I am picking up the wraps even though it is garter, and I find that picking up the wraps even with garter prevents my holes. So sometimes people, when they just do the wrap and turn and garter, they don't bother picking up the wraps. And then they get a hole.
I don't get a hole.
Well, you're just lucky, I guess. I get a hole. So I am picking them up, and that seems to solve the problem.
Okay.
So, I don't know. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on. I started it last week, and it's been moving along nicely. I like the yarn.
Yeah.
And
whose yarn is that?
This is Smooshy. It's Dream in Color.
Okay.
Yeah. I know Laurel had some, and you know what? These skeins, because these are only 400, maybe 420. There are other sock sets. Like I know Laurel, when she dyed them, her socks yarn was like 463.
Oh, okay.
And so, or sometimes it was.
Yeah.
And so, depending upon where I end up, I mean, it looks like I got a fair amount of yarn left.
Yeah.
I might do. I'll see, because I'm not worried about running out of this yarn, because my little ball is here's still plenty big.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I might be able to get another repeat out of it.
Okay.
So
you're going to go until you're out of yarn.
Well, I'm going to try it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I end up frogging it, I end up frogging it. When
Mm-hmm.
I get to the point where this section here is done, I'm going to look at how much yarn I got.
Yeah. I'm like you. I don't care if I frog it. If I'm trying to use up all my yarn,
Yeah,
I'll go until I use it all up, and then I'll back a row out so I have enough to
bind off.
bind off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do with it, because, I mean, I'm looking at this, and I want to, you know, I'll keep the 15 row repeat or ridge. It's actually ridges, but I'll keep that consistent. But if I can squeak out another repeat, I'm going to do that.
Right. And I wouldn't care which I ended with either. You know.
Oh no, I want to end because I want to end with the this purpley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to end with that. And so I that's why I'm saying this section here, it's you know, a couple short rows. It's minimal.
Yeah.
So
but you're getting longer.
Yeah, I know. But still, I mean,
Okay.
this was 50 stitches, I think.
Okay.
So it's like just a couple rows. So I'm going to just see where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And
we'll see next week.
And we'll see next week. And what I'll do is I'll probably just put in a lifeline.
Okay.
And then rip back to my lifeline if I need to.
Okay.
So, but yeah, my goal, self-imposed goal, is to finish it this weekend. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I could, because like I did this just watching a little bit of TV yesterday, and I did this. So because I worked pretty much all day, so then we went and got dinner, and then sat in it last night. So doesn't take long. So
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of fun. That's what I'm working on.
All right. And what have you got finished?
Well, I don't know if I showed you this one.
Yes.
We
show
did?
us that.
Okay. I
Yep.
brought it along for mystery class today for a reason.
Okay.
But I didn't show these. This is called not a bourbon, a shot, and a beer, but Snap, Crackle, Pop. That's the name of the pattern, Snap, Crackle, and Pop. And it's the set of 3 pillows. Now, oh boy, which is Snap? I think this is Snap. Snap. And this is Crackle, I think. I don't remember. And then this is Pop.
Very
Or is
nice.
this is Crackle. I think this is Crackle.
Okay.
And then that makes this one Pop. Okay, so what's cool about these pillows? Okay, it's a set of 3 pillows in the same pattern. Now, I did the set of 3, and I did them in all different colors. But I changed this pattern up because they were knit flat, and you seamed 4 edges. I hate seaming. So I said, if I want to, I could eliminate seams. So the first thing I had to do to change this pattern so that it would work the way I wanted to is I had to do the pattern on both sides. So I mirrored it on the back and the front. And what that did, because in the pattern, you knit the backs flat and you have a stitch count for the back, which is different from the stitch count on the front.
Oh.
So you couldn't just knit it in the round. and hope that it'll all work out, because if you wanted to Kitchener together on the bottom, or if you wanted to mattress stitch together, you couldn't line up your stitches one to one.
Right.
You could not do that. So I said, well, what if I went to work and I just did the pattern on both sides? So this was the first one I did. And on this one, there's no seam here and no seam here. And obviously I knitted in the round. So I did a Judy's Magic cast on, and I Kitchener
Okay.
on the top.
So there's no seam at all in that one.
No seam at all on this one.
Okay.
All right. And this is the one I did first. Now, there's a couple of things. With this one, I could have gone down a needle size. I did this one a while ago. And I could have gone down a needle size on it because I think my gauge is a little loose because I can see pillow peeking through when I look at it. Okay, from a distance, I know you can't. All right? This is one of these things. I'm being overly picky. But getting that gauge tight would also get tighter, would also have tightened this part up, and it would have fit the pillow form, which was a 16-inch, would have fit a little bit nicer. So getting that gauge really tight matters. Now, and over here on the edge here, there's a garter edge on this side, and that's to separate, you know, that's where I put those in for the pattern. It's this stitch, this part right here.
Yeah.
Now, what I could have done is just left this in stockinette, like, so it would look like this side, but I didn't think that far. It looks fine.
It looks good that way.
Yeah, so.
Is the yarn on Cascade 220?
Yes.
Yep, that's what I thought it looked like.
Yeah. I don't think this is. I think this is Stonehenge, because like I said, I knit this one a while ago. And there's a definite difference in the feel. This one's a little softer.
Okay.
Yeah, but this one is Cascade, and that one's Cascade.
Okay.
And what's interesting, this one even feels more coarse than this one. You touch them. Yeah. So the smocking stitch was kind of fun. I'd never done that before, but it really was fun to do. Okay, so that's that one. And then snap, crackle. Crackle is cables. And on this one, I did a 3-needle bind off here. So I knitted in the round. I did not do a provisional cast on. And then on this end, I bound off and I mattress stitched. Okay, could I have done the same Judy's Magic cast on with this? Yes, but I just wanted to try different ways for kicks and giggles.
Yeah.
Okay, so I tried different ways. With the cable, I think the Magic cast on would have been a good technique. Because with the way these pull in, mattress stitching it was a pain in the butt.
Oh, okay.
The 3-needle bind off was fine. But if you use 3-needle bind off, well, then you almost have to mattress stitch or do a Magic cast on. And with this, because you got a seam on one end, I wanted a seam on the other one, you know, that whole symmetry thing. And this one then is just, basic cable pattern. But this one I knit on smaller needles than that, and the gauge is much tighter. Okay. And this is definitely Cascade, and I like the way it fits in the pillow form. These are the exact same pillow forms. It fits better in the pillow form with that one needle size. I think I knit this one on an 8 and this one on a 7.
Okay.
So that's that one, and then the third one. This one is just a texture, and this one was so easy to match up for.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know, and I believe I mattress stitched and on both ends on this one.
Okay.
I did both ends of mattress stitch, and you know it works. So when I'm knitting pillows, okay, first of all, I pay attention to my gauge. It's a pillow, for Pete's sake, but gauge matters. Otherwise, you get some silly little hole colors poking through.
And it has to fit.
And it has to fit the form. And this one, I got a little tail, you know, I call it a rabbit ear up here, but it looks fine. It's okay. Yeah. This one I just finished. It's got needs a little fluffing up on the, you know, little use would be good. It's a ribbing alternating a moss stitch kind of pattern on it to get the texture, which I love. I really do. This one, of the 3 pillows, this one's my favorite because I love the texture.
Okay.
I just think this is a beautiful pattern.
Yeah, they're all nice.
Yeah, well, they are. And together, they look really good. So this is, we're going to talk pillows today during the mystery series. And, you know, there's a lot more to knitting a pillow than meets the eye.
Sure. Yep.
So that's what I've been working on.
Okay. I tried last night I crocheted a row. Just one row.
A row. Wow.
And my hands were screaming all night into the night until I took a hot shower this morning. They were screaming at me.
Oh my gosh.
So we won't try that again for another while.
Oh.
But I wanted to just show something else. You know, people have been talking to me about helical knitting and the advantages. Now, my sweater, I have done helical knitting. I did it a little bit on the top, and you can see it's a lighter orange on the very top. And then on the bottom, this is getting ripped out. I don't like the ribbing. I think I forgot to go down a size on my needle.
Oh.
And so it's too big. So I got to rip out the ribbing. But I had just one color on that little roll. But the rest of the whole sweater is helical knitting. Okay, so you see, you know, the color effect you get. There's no pooling. Now let me show you the yarns. This is one yarn, and this is the other. So I have 2 totally different colors even for this. And it blends them so nicely. So you can imagine when you're using hand-dyed yarn, that's just off by a little bit because it was from a separate batch. You can see how they're going to blend and you're not going to notice.
And you wouldn't have to do the whole sweater in helical, where you might just do like the last, say, 10 rows of your old color. You wouldn't need to do the whole thing.
Then that's a fade.
I know.
You're not keeping your color consistent throughout. This is completely helical to keep my color consistent throughout.
Okay.
Okay, the only place I didn't do helical, like I said, was in the little roll at the top and the roll at the bottom. So,
and that would make sense. It would, it would be hard to do it there.
Right. So, yeah. So I just wanted to show that because, you know, people have been talking a lot about helical knitting lately and the advantages. And I think this is a perfect example of an advantage of, you know, how does it look?
I think I need to learn how to do that.
Yeah. So.
Because that would blend yarns really nicely.
Right. Yep.
You're further along on that than I thought you were.
Well, I'm on the first sleeve, but, you know, right now I'm not knitting it, so, and I got to rip out the bottom. Like I said, it just doesn't look good. I didn't necessarily want it to suck in much, but it just is not laying well at the bottom at all.
Well, the roll isn't right.
No, the ribbing is not right to me. It's too...
Yeah, it's not laying nice.
It's not good. So it's coming out. Yeah. You know, I was thinking too about crochet sweaters. Like I said, I tried to crochet a row because I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'll crochet sweaters instead of knitting them if my hand doesn't get better. Because I can seem to squeak out some crochet once in a while without it hurting. But people always do that funky, I think kind of ugly ribbing stitch in crochet to try to mimic when you're ribbing in knitting. And I think, why? You know, you knit a rib at the bottom so your stuff doesn't roll up. The knitting a rib is a fix, and you don't need a fix with crochet, so you don't need that ugly ribbing.
True.
So, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure a way to crochet a sweater at home. I just started with the neckline, and that's where it's not even joined yet. It's a V-neck, so it's nothing worth showing. That's what I was crocheting on last night. Just one row. That's all I did, one row. It sent me off.
Even with your ergonomic
crochet
hook?
Yeah, I used the ergonomic crochet hook and the glove. I didn't have the tape on, So I thought the glove would be good enough, but obviously it wasn't.
Wow. You got a few more weeks before that doctor's appointment.
April 19th for the appointment, and then how long until surgery after that. I think they're pretty quick at scheduling the surgeries after you see the doctor.
And you think
I'm hoping.
You have it in both hands?
Yeah, I have it on my ring finger here and my middle finger here. This one is not as bad.
Okay.
But I'm right-handed, so I'm using this one a lot more.
Right.
So, yep.
Oh,
but
boy.
This will pass.
Those are
These
gorgeous
are
colors.
3 new colors. Cascade Heritage came out with 4 new colors this year. The gold is on back order, and these are the new colors for this year. Oop.
They look gorgeous together.
Yeah.
I could see those 3 together in a shawl.
This
like
is Caribbean Sea. Oh, goodness. Now I can't remember.
One reminds me of flamingos.
This one's a peach pearl or something like that. And this is living coral.
Okay.
Boy, that took a while to get it out.
Yeah, no kidding.
I had to dig down in the memories. Oh, they're right here. I could have looked.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, the one on back order is called Golden Yellow, which would have gone good with that, too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, those are the 3 new colors. So they're on our big, huge wall full of heritage.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, what else we got going on here?
I got in a bunch of Encore, too, but I just put that directly on the shelf. It's 1 new color, I think. I got some worsted and some DK.
Okay.
Encore seems to be a good stable for people that are gift knitting. You know, it's a wool acrylic mix, so they're not afraid people are going to ruin it in the washer and stuff like that.
You know, and now that you say that, Encore would make great pillows, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that acrylic, and that there's a level of durability that comes when they throw that wool with the acrylic. And so I think that Encore would make great pillows, too.
Yep. Now, there is one advantage to your Cascade 220 there. That's 100% wool, not superwash. That will naturally repel dirt.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, yeah. The superwash you can wash, but I think when they make it superwash, you lose a little of your stain fighting properties. But the 100% will repel dirt.
Well, that's good to know.
Yep. Yeah, that's why they make like Persian rugs out of wool.
Oh,
So
okay.
you just have to vacuum it up and it's good. Or put it on the line and beat it.
No.
Yeah, we don't beat things. That's the old way.
No, not doing it.
Okay. Well, you know, we can't chat too long today because you got a bunch of people coming in just a couple
It's
minutes.
Mystery Saturday.
Oh, tell them what you're wearing quick. Cause
I'm wearing my truck cardigan. This is my steak. I love my steak sweater.
Yep.
I want to do another steak. I'm into it now.
Yeah.
So what I love about this one, okay, I found this T-shirt and this rusty color. I wanted
looks
red.
perfect.
But that rust is in here too. This sweater goes with darn near everything I got in my closet as far as T-shirts are concerned because of the whole rainbow thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the Ultra cardigan that I steeked, and I got to show off my inside. There's my ribbon that I encased my steak in.
Yep.
So.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay, now we can say goodbye.
Okay, now we can say goodbye.
Bye.